think it's working. I think the mic's working. I'm pretty sure. I tested the desktop audio where I hit the live button. That was working, but I forgot to test the microphone. Is it? I forget how long, whoops. How long I haven't done any keyboard builds. Two weeks? Uh-oh. I think 2 weeks. This was supposed to arrive yesterday, but got here pretty late in the afternoon. The mic picking up too much of the disassembly noise. Thought I had a filter on it. Blue squares. I am checking. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound too good. I was using, what do you call it? Android to... Okay. The audio is good. I think the blue is from the camera attempting to auto stabilize or auto focus. I'll see if I can make it stop though. I think I was playing with soft focus too in this new setup, trying to... Oh, it still does it. Sorry, I should have... It still doesn't. You're right. Yeah, I still see it. Wow. I thought I fixed that. I think I'm going to break it a bit. Yeah, even if I play with the new window, it'll turn off completely. It was crashing earlier today. I'll probably have to restart it. No. I'm figuring that out now. I thought it was because of the effects and the filters that I wanted the camera to do. And then I'm slowly going one by one through them, making it, trying to not make it do that. But I did want it to do like an auto focus, and I forget the other one I was using. I think that's from the either the stabilization effect that I wanted or the focus that I wanted. But I'm gonna try it in this mode. Whoop. Is it still up? Yeah, I think it's still. The stream is still up. Okay, so everything's off. There's no effects anymore. So I'll just test it out and see if it'll focus on my hands again. I don't think it's doing it anymore, but I'm paranoid now. I'm watching it. Watching both screens. Well, that sucks. I guess I can't use the effects that I wanted, but I mean, oh, sorry, I'm pausing just to double checking if it's like a foreground or a background, if it'll do that. Okay, that's good. I was asking too much of it. It was through Windows Link and things like that. I knew I should have tested it more. All I did was check a desktop audio and see if that was working. And then updated OBS to past version 30, and it would not take the new camera settings through the Windows app. I forget what it's called. Like Windows Link Photo Share or Video Share app, sorry. Yeah, I wouldn't accept it. And I'd attempt a record through it, and OBS was not having it. It was an instantaneous crash too. It's like frames would freeze for about 5 seconds, and then OBS would completely shut down. It was going to be a very like slow build, and then a rebuild, and then foam testing, and then like grease the switch, check it without any grease or no oil for the spring, but the switches already came like from the factory pre-greased, so I was like, well, that cut out a huge section of the slow play. Well, I guess that kind of destroys the illusion a little bit, but I did open the keyboard when I got it earlier, and then like quickly reassembled it. There was no information that directly said if the switches came like pre-oiled, or which version has what touches, things like that, or if the base model is excluded from all that because it's the cheapest model. But yeah, even on this, the cheapest model, the internals, the plastic, and where the top and the area above the spring, it's already done for me. So I'm really surprised about that. Sorry, I had to grab more organization. I was gonna wait for another order. I was supposed to fix my chair, the base of the chair, and the spring in it, but it's getting here too late in the day. It's already, 5 p.m. over here, so I was like, I'll deal with that later. I'm surprised how much the board doesn't fight me with this. Even in opening up the new switches. I don't know if it's gonna focus, if I can slide that. There you go. Even in the base version, they're not the newest ones, the glares, but I'm happy so far. What was weird though, when I first opened the box, on the bottom right hand side, around here, like the control face buttons, there was foam in between the frame of the board and the space. There's a little tiny space in that corner over there. But over here, the foam was jutting out into the area underneath the switch for some reason, which was iFixit. No, this is my cheap replacement for the one I lost. The other one, I forget the brand of the one I had. But no, I had to rebuy this because I lost my old one. But no, it's not that brand though. I wish. It's expensive. The minor detail, I think that I was focused on that because I was worried the foam inserts were not lined up properly on the other sides of the board. So I was like, uh-oh. I was playing with it before typing, and I was like, huh, that key does not fully compress like all the other ones. I was like, oh, maybe it's, what did I do to it? And then there was just foam inside in like a lower corner. I think it was the control button. I was like, yeah, I don't think it's supposed to do that, but I mean it's fixable. You can't take points off for it. My original plan was to put soundproofing foam. It's not like car dampening foam. I think I have it somewhere. Is it picking up every time I move the chair? I hope it's not, because I looked away. But yeah, it's one of these. Probably about 80% of that can go in to this. Oh, that's good. It's old, squeaking bad. Especially the side rails. They're not doing too good. Oh yeah, it's a 60. I think the one on top is a TKL, which is, yeah, well, let me line it up, I guess. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the top one, I'm used to the top one. The thing that throws me off is like no arrow keys during an application. I don't know if I could get used to this. Like no directional input. You can do like a weird 3-button command and then WASD, but I don't know if I could ever get used to that. When I grabbed the base model, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be a huge fan of their magnetic switch line. It's probably just a phase I'm in, you know? Like, oh, I'll get the base model just to test the waters. And then now I actually really like it. Even though in their newer versions, I think they have like it's like a cell phone. So they have like the Pro and then the Max. I already like the base model, so now I want the Pro and the Nebula purple version. I should have bought their 8K, I think it's, yeah, 8K Nebula Star version. No, I want that one. I don't know, everything's so effortless. It's small, but I don't know, it's not hard to work with at all. Oop, sorry, scratched the board. 9070 XT. I'm still looking. I haven't forgot about it, but yeah, sold out at the local level. Sold out. I was looking for third-party variants. I know there's a Redstone, there's a colorful brand Ocean variant, and then there's like the black red military grade version. So I'm shopping, but I think the scalper pricing The different pricing is throwing me off a little bit. 5080s already. Wow. Yeah, I can see the desire for more of the 50 series than the 9070 series. I understand. I didn't even bother to check out the 50 series. I was like, well, if I can't, no luck with the 9070, then I'd no way the 50 is going to be there for me. It's working. I know a lot of certain companies will try to heavily enforce that, and that is good. But I think at the rate that they're going, it's hard to police, hard to keep up with it. I know there was like one third party that actively polices the MSRP, which is nice. I mean, it should be more than one or two, but with how the market is, I know they're not having a easiest of times. Sorry, I'm just gonna cycle through the free music really fast. Or at least I think I can dodge copyright with this playlist. We'll see how it goes. For sure, yeah. I'm reading the whole thing really quick. NVIDIA for sure. Yeah, I still see the I understand the mindset of the NVIDIA side. Performance-wise, they're it's hard to say it. They're still ruling the market performance-wise. It's just that cost that's holding me, my personal interest into it, but it's true. It's still kings of the performance graphs right now. Intel is on Battle Mage Series 2. It feels like they're in a different dimension right now. Removed the support? No, I had no idea. I didn't know you could do that, that they were planning to. NVIDIA. They just completely removed that option to their app. But no, I had no idea. Oh, well, that's good. That's, well. 40 series. I still hear a lot of good things about the 40. I think I was watching like a whole series on the super line. How like the two versions of the 4070 can outperform the 50 series in quite a few games. Not everything, but some like very specific titles. The Super and the TE. It's almost 1-for-1 with the current 50. Just the frame gen. Oh no. I'm worried. I think when I saw frame gen on FF15, I was like, oh, I don't know. It's a thing, but I don't know if I'm on board going in that direction where it makes I'm pretty sure it was 15. What's the newest one? Yeah, it was the one with Clive with frame gen. It makes it looks like he has like multiple shoes, or just like adds the base of his shoe into the frame where it's not supposed to be there. It's getting there, but I don't know if I'm comfortable with that type of performance settings that use it or enable it. I say slightly worried. I'm very worried that just stressed out in general. Graphics card market. I'm not even confident that that I'll be able to end up with an XT. That was the main goal, but now I'm just shifting to any version of the 70. I think I'll be fine with slightly less. Save on power at least, or power consumption. I'll look at the bright sides. It could be worse. I do see a few, or I did see a few XTs around 650, 580, sorry, 580, 590, around there, but, you know, after checking, it's just like, oh, all these models from the seller have been sold out. I'm just like, wow, okay. I don't know, maybe I went into it with like a very naive mindset. Like, oh, there wouldn't be so much demand, or the demand would be higher because people would be more interested in the NVIDIA line. But it feels almost the same. I did do a bit of Best Buy watching. I mean, I'm not currently right now, but I feel like I should be. Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know. I've never had to do that sort of thing or anything computer related. It sounds kind of strange to say, but yeah, I've never had to do any of that before. I know that's the reality now. I just can't believe it. Sorry, just checking for any like additional screws that I have to worry about, any extra mounting points. For sure, yeah. I know, like Fry's, Micro Center, Computer Central, I think. Anything. I could just... I mean, granted it wouldn't be day one or week one, but now there's like a 3.5 months wait period, or a season has to go by before, you know, you can join a wait list or get in line for get into a digital line and then just kind of hope. I don't know. I sound so old, but it's I think that everybody has to do now. I think what's throwing me off a little bit, or mild deterrent, is Monster Hunter games coming out, and even those games ask a lot from the highest end. The scripts, the bots are already on the scripts. How they're getting them so fast. Like I forget what they call it, website scrubbing website data and then auto buying. But I mean, people have counters to that now and are using like 63 or 73%, you know, increase in the MSRP, and they're trying to catch the bots that way. But what a strange time to be in. Wow. I didn't believe the original post of the base model. All of the stabilizers, they're lubricated and everything. I really thought they meant that if you buy the, you know, the more expensive model, then you get, you know, loop stabilizers and things like that, and switches. That is very nice. I don't think it comes through on the camera though. I don't know. It's blowing me away a little bit on that. I never thought I would need like a coding script just to join a queue for buying a card. Lost a keycap. I mean, that's not so hard to deal with now in like the 3D printing era. Like a store can just press a button and have it ready in a few minutes now. Oh, the stabilizer grease? Or the lube? Yeah, it does kind of look like that. I didn't even think about that, about how it could be interpreted. Do you have a set you can like cannibalize from? I get like the like a default Logitech or a default Razer, and I just use that as just like the spare parts bin. Or I guess you could get like a spare Royal Axe or Royal Clutch, and that could be the backup. No, it is, yeah, you're right. Because the default, like, stabilizer lubricant is, wow, I'm blanking on the name. 105, Krytox 205. Yeah, it is that color. So, like, people usually see it in the containers, but not actually on the object itself. That's interesting. I didn't even think of, how that could like be perceived by somebody. I think I have a different, like a slightly different perspective on like, because I use thin oils and then the dielectric grease. I still can't. Still forget how it's spelled, but yeah, it's usually clear when I use them, so. Getting rid of the grease on the stabilizers, it makes it a lot worse, but you could use a different strategy now that all the Krytox is gone. You can use like an adhesive where the, let me try to focus. I'll use the spacebar. Yeah, where the metal, the stabilizer itself makes contact with your board, you can put like foam or like a non-tacky adhesive and it'll work about the same. It'll make it kind of similar. It won't be as good, but it's a good like secondary thing to do if you don't have access to the same stuff. Or I guess you could just replace the whole unit altogether. I've never actually done that, but yeah, you pop the stabilizer and the housing out completely and then get like a screw mounted stabilizer and just use that instead. Or get like, oh, I haven't gone shopping for these in quite a while. There's like plate mounts, which are pretty medium, and then the screw and stabilizers is probably the best. Then if you can get screw mounts, stabilizers, and then with dampeners, that's some good stuff. I was prepared though, for because I didn't fully open this on right when I got it. I was like, oh, I'll probably have to disassemble the whole stabilizer set because it's probably not like they probably didn't do anything to it, was my first thought. But then I like take one keycap out, one switch. I'm like, oh, that's done. Okay, I guess I'll just work to the go right to the stabilizers, and then you know, you open the case and that's already done too. You're like, doesn't leave a lot for me to do now. Now I don't even know what the heck that was below my below the control key, because there's no foam like underneath the plate or on the PCB. So I don't know what the heck that was doing in there. But yeah, right about there. Just some casual foam sticking out into the bottom of the control key. Oh well. I mean, I'm gonna try foam mounts. I can remember where I put them. Never mind, they're lost to the ether. It's lost already. Mm-hmm. Yep. Wait, which part? The tempest tape? I was gonna do tempest tape on the PCB. Whoop, I should not have done. Yeah, probably, well, this is super thin, a lot less space than what I thought I'd be able to work with, but I don't know, let me measure it real fast. It's definitely a lot less working space than what I thought I was gonna have in there. It changes things a little bit. I don't even think like a thin piece of the sound foam is gonna be able to fit in there. Sorry, I'm just reevaluating really fast. I knew I couldn't fit anything too crazy, like silicone or anything like that, but that fits super flush with the base. Throws me off a little bit. I think I have to take it apart like 2 or 3 times. Oop. That's interesting. I didn't know the back dial would be taken off so easily. Okay. Well, it's not broken, but if it's just the sides, the space that the battery creates, I think I can do something about that, but the big huge indent where it spaces above the battery, then onto the base, the PCB fits right above the battery. It's just that little tiny river, that little well, and that's it. I'm just gonna try to layer, like make a thin layer of O-rings. I can make a little bit of height to maybe fit something inside the space, like the empty space between the battery and the case, or the battery and the PCB. See if it works. Or I could just throw everything off, like the Newfie. I could just like put so much pressure on the center of the mounting points that it kind of rocks the backplate, but thankfully I don't have to worry about anything, any backplates on this. Too shiny. That's the reflection off of the battery pack. Trying to dull the lights a little bit. Never mind, I can't see. Sorry. Okay, I don't think even that's gonna work. So, I think that puts like strange pressure. It's not evenly distributed, and it kind of throws the USB-C cable out a little bit. The square. Yeah, that is pretty neat. Like it neatly fits inside of the case itself. I really thought there'd be more room between the PCB. It is, yeah. Wow. The first time I took it apart, I was surprised already. There we go, sorry. Just changing the music. I think the PCB that I really want is the one with like laser etching of I'm forgetting the company. I think it's called like Canon Keys, and Wooting also does that, where in the negative space, like in between the space bar, there'll be like their company branded laser etch logo into both sections. So it'll have like I know people that like Patreon backed a certain PCB build. They'll have like each like a white square outline with somebody else's or like a different backer's name, and the Canon Keys is just like every square, everything is just covered with a with a backer's name, which I thought was pretty nice. But I've only ever seen them, never actually owned like a PCB with like a backer's status or anything like that. I think if you get the like old version of the Wooting, if you flip the PCB over, like on this side, on the bottom right, it says "Don't mess this up," which I think that's my favorite like Wooting thing in the world. But I don't know. I'm sad most like the other companies don't really do anything with this bottom part here. It's just like model number, and then if you want to recreate the PCB, you have item number and things. But rather, you know, the PCB just tell me not to F this thing up or something. don't break it, or don't or like my warranty is definitely voided or something like that. I'd rather that than, you know, blank. I feel like I'm gonna lose this little mode selector button. It's just for science. I would usually, would usually do like an entire foam insert, but you know, I don't think that this space can really handle anything, but just to test it out. I know it's probably just gonna be foam for each side of the battery at most, but I don't know. I think it'll be fun to try it. I think I'd get more of an effect with the foam, but I think the little O-rings making like space in between the contact points, I think it's probably gonna have to be that if I'm comparing the two, like performance wise, or like the most amount of gain out of the two different versions. I think the O-rings are probably gonna win. But I was smart this time. I did take like a sound test before I you know, started taking things apart, so I'm learning slowly. don't think this foam insert was doing a whole lot when it was put together, but I hardly even noticed it. I thought when I was using it earlier that the keycap was making physical contact into the metal plate. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a lot denser than like the sound-proof foam that I was using, but I could not tell you I noticed it was there. Wow, that's almost already pushing the limits. Pieces. Well, you don't have to do that many parts. I'm just making it complicated. You could just do like a single foam mat, and then just, you know, cut to size and just throw that right in. But since it's a lot less available space than what I thought, I'm kind of just trying to test the limits of like the negative space, I guess you could say. The capacity of it. And the like the pre-roll pre-roll sound test that I recorded before this, it was I don't know, I really didn't like the sound profile. It was very like how would I describe it? The each key press felt like it was stamping into a piece of metal and then like very lightly being echoed back to you. I was like, that's I don't think if I go really lightly on it, then I don't think there's gonna be a huge amount of difference between the like the sound signature that I want and what the board is currently doing. My main impression, it's like, oh, there's a lot of empty space. But I think the main problem is just this. Yeah. This is super harsh, super, you know, there's no like give or like flexibility in it. It make contact and pings super loud. Even with the foam. Yeah, even with this in it. I didn't even notice like there was top plate foam in it. But I guess moral of the story. Don't buy the base model, just get their updated model. Get the iPhone Pro something model. That sounds like I'm being negative, but I don't mean for it to sound that way. It's a good starting point, but I think the Pro model and the I think it has the same naming conventions, like the Fun Max. Which one? iPhone? No, that's just the naming convention of the board I'm working with. Yep, Monsgeek. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Monsgeek. I wanted to say a different... Why do I feel like saying a different company name? Maybe it sounds like a similar company. think there's like some really thin amount of space that I could utilize around the bottom mounting points. I don't know if just keyboard, that would be nice. It'd be a lot less mental energy compared to like a game, but I don't think like all the time, by every stream, I think that'd be expensive. I'm not against the idea though. It's a good concept. Well, I already want to buy their entire line. This version, and then there's like a 8K version. This is only one. And then the other two, the Pro and the Max, I already want. But even with all of those, I wouldn't fill that many hours. It's a good thought though. Maybe through like a kickback type program, maybe. I'll get back to the games though. I just haven't found one that's good, or that is currently holding like a lot of my attention. I don't have one, not yet. Monster Hunter, if I could grab like a 97, but recently it's just like games I've already have played, but just different companies re-releasing or releasing their own versions of existing games. So I don't think that would be too interesting. Like Japan released like their version of Zenless, like the different version. It's like Zenless, but it's like a death game. I don't know how you say it, Danganronpa type Zenless game. I was playing, what was it? The new speedrunning game. I have to look it up. But I think my game library just isn't very interesting or appealing. I was just going through like demos and things. Tribe 9, I was. Dragpunk I tried. Haste. PoE. I tried it a little bit. It didn't hook me immediately. I get the appeal. It was a very appealing game. I did try the newest updated version of Diablo. It's good, you know, a really good game, but I didn't see myself playing it long term or like hours on end. I was like, oh, okay, I think that's half an hour every now and then. I think that's enough. I mean, it's a good game, but I don't think it would be a good like stream category for me, since it doesn't hook me for a long period of time. But I haven't found that one, you know, something I could go back to. The one game that would just be like a permanent stay as like a stream title. I lost the cable. I was gonna show you the weird cable thing that they had for this. Yeah, there we go. What a weird looking USB-C cable. I don't know if you can see that on camera. What a weird... It doesn't even line up with the board properly. There's like a little tiny gap in between like the contact point and then down here on the bottom. I'm just like, I can see into the USB port, I guess. I thought that was pretty funny. Okay, I think I've hit capacity on that. I wanted to put some kind of foam on the bottom right hand side, but the connection setting button is this entire platform area, and then it goes almost into the next mounting point on the bottom right. So that's a little frustrating. Like, it's not integrated deeper into the base plate itself. So it's like a big square I could put anything into. What I'm happy about though is the mounting points are gigantic, so I won't be searching too hard for those. Oh, I found them. Found the little... Whoops. There you go. I was looking for that since the 80 minutes ago. I was looking for those. But now I don't know. I haven't found like a stream title that I really wanted to run through or replay. That's true. You bring a good point. I think most of my ideas have been like replays of very old things. I think my main worry is like relevance. I think retro has a field and a stage, but I don't think I would fit into the category. I don't have an audience for that specific type of game. I don't know, odd mindset, like holding me back a little bit, making me second guess about things. Overthinking, I know, but it's my current thought process right now. Or maybe I'm worried about like putting myself into too narrow of a category. Then audience of that specific category will, they'll want more of that. Then since the games and the interests they swap so often, I don't think I could hold a very like focused audience switching between so many things, but I'm just thinking out loud. A bit of everything. I understand. I can see the well, I forget what they call it now. What is it, like general? I don't know. I forget the category that it fits into. Multifaceted, I think, is, well, I think it would be difficult for me to do. But not that it's a bad thing. Oh, like variety, never having like a main thing. Okay. Yeah, even if I had to pick like a main category, I wouldn't know what to have or what to be known for. But as to be in like a general category, I think my library or my game interest is so limiting as is. Old games, yeah, I think I do fit into that category a lot. Not that I don't like demo new things, but I think I'm swapping in between different interests and categories too quickly. I mean, the games that I did want, I didn't. It never crossed my mind to save them for like an online stream environment. I would just, buy and then complete and then like, oh, that could have been a series, that could have been a thing or a walkthrough or something, and then 14. I haven't played 14 in a long time. Like I've missed the last I don't even I've lost track of the amount of updates. It's a good, like game to get into, but I think I hit the not the breaking point, but I hit like the apex of my interest with that series. And then everybody that I did know that was playing like took breaks or did like a flat out like quit. So my interest waned a lot pretty quickly after that. Sorry, I'm looking for... Never mind. I was looking for the tape. That's true. That is true, yeah. I do have like a watch, and then the interest will start. I think the main issue, I think issue is the wrong word for me. The main series of events is that the ones that I would go for, play for a long time, Hades, there's like speed games called like Rush. I would throw, time into it until the game is over, and then the game is over within a matter of a few days. And I'm just like, I don't know if I like it enough to revisit it or replay it, but that's usually the how I like trap myself out of like streaming game situations. I just forget to even think about that. Sorry, the mic arm is in the way a little bit. I think I did try to do like an alternation stream. I forget what the game that I was doing that with. What I first started with, I can't even remember what I first started with. maybe it's my mindset that should change. Once like a game or a series is over, I never really think to revisit it. Or I have like thought about it, and I'm just like, I don't know if I would want to or handle a full replay of some games. But it is slowly, you know, becoming more of an appealing idea to me. Sorry, not to what happened? Oh, Resident Evil. Okay, I'm reading. Okay, I'm reading Resident Evil, Borderlands. Oh, oh man, Sleeping Dogs. Holy crap, I couldn't put that game down until I beat it. I think Sleeping Dogs, one of the only, well, no, probably like one of the 5 or so games that I have like multiple digital copies of for no reason whatsoever. Sleeping Dogs was really good. Resident Evil 4, I think probably my favorite in the series. I mean, having not played the new ones, I know I'm missing out on a lot. Stopped on PS3, no, that makes sense. I think I have a PS3 copy, and then I have, oh man, there's like a new definitive edition that was later released on Steam, but I had bought it digitally beforehand, so I think I own that game like 3 times. What else? Gears of War 5. I'm forgetting the one that I played. The one in the snow, I played a lot but never finished it. It's a good game, though, you know, really good, but it didn't hold me to the same degree of like 1 or 2. So, I don't know. I started like the open map area of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I get where it's going with this. Yeah, if they just like made like Dogs 2 or like a new version of 2, like the predecessor of the characters that remained alive after the ending of the game, I don't know. I'd be pretty into that. That'd probably hold up a lot of my time. Same with like a Saints Row 3.5 or something. I'd replay that too. That held me for quite a while. But the newer ones, not so much. Not that they're bad games or anything, but I don't know. It didn't hold my attention or make me want to play for as huge amount of time as the other ones did. I forget what else. I know it was demoing something else. Yakuza Hawaii Island. More Hades, but I mean Hades 2 is like I've played it to over and back. It's beaten for now. Yeah, other than that, like Haste and about it, really. Hades. It's beaten already. It's like the game's over. There's nothing else to do in the game. Hades 1, I didn't play to that extent though. But yeah, it's the game's been over since like February. It's good though, it's good, but I mean once you... Well, Star Wars. I don't think I've played a Star Wars since like the Force series. I played that a lot. That was good. The EA Star Wars, like the new one with that red-haired kid. I'm forgetting the name. That was okay. I know a lot of people like 100%ed the newer ones and they're really happy with it, but I mean they are great iterations, but I don't think I liked it enough to, 100% it or anything like that. Wolfenstein. I think I've played and beaten. I'm trying to think. Yeah, New Blood. The weird, like, DLC 80s one. Yeah, those are all I've played before. I never streamed them, I don't think. No, I don't think I ever have. Watched, that's a good one. Never tried at all. Never even demoed. Strangely, what held me for a long time was Assassin's Creed. I don't know why, but yeah, it held my attention for a long time. I didn't beat it, like I didn't do all of the hunts or things like that, but well, I didn't get tired of that until like 60 hours into it. I was like, okay, maybe I should take a break. I think what I used to use for like staying up, like up to date with current gen releases was like video game Twitter, but I don't even use Twitter anymore. Like I can't remember the logins and things like that. So I feel very out of the loop when it comes to game releases and things. The Tokyo Racing, that helped me. The cheap ones, that's good. That's, you know, inexpensive isn't bad. I'd go Persona. Oh, Metaphor? I had Metaphor. I was playing. I know it's not Persona, but I was playing that. Just hitting walls though. It's like, oh, this game is not treating me like I thought it would. For sure. Used to be really super interesting too. Remember just wanting to know what happens in the game. What's the connection between A and B and which characters, things like that. Now I'm just like, oh, this is, like I've had enough for a long time. Oh, I'm remembering the games. Some games I was demoing. There was like a bicycle, like adventure game. I can't remember the name of it. I was playing that recently. Well, I can't find it. Yeah, it was a whole like ride your bike, like your road bicycle, and then race people, and then upgrade the bike. I don't know why that got super into that. Oh, Glyphica. Typing survival. Just doing that. I don't know if I'd play that on stream though, because I can't. I type like a 80-year-old, so it probably would not be like visually very appealing. Sorry, I was a little late to respond to that. I just saw Bioshock. I'm thinking the newest one. I know I played. I did beat it. Wasn't very into one, and I think I was the most into number one. Two was good. Two is very good. But I think the first one would probably have to be my most played. I was just like watching a few videos that referred to Bioshock as like an old classic. Infinite? Interesting. Out of all three of them, it's... I think I played that one the least. But... well, I know the quality that's from Bioshock is, you know, for sure all of them have an air of quality. I think in the grand scheme, I think I'd be a terrible, like, replayer. I know you can, like, replay stuff quickly, like speedrunning, things like that, but I don't think I have a huge amount of interest in doing anything like that. Or I think that takes a lot of, like, patience I don't think I necessarily would have. I think a part of me kind of doesn't want to admit, like, the limitations of my current internet. For some reason, like, my upload and the download keep, they're on the rise. For some reason, they keep increasing. But I don't think it would be enough to stream something fast-paced, like, let's say, a new Battlefield or something in that line. I really think the internet would have a hard time keeping up with that. I think part of me doesn't want to admit that, but I really don't think it would have a good time. I really don't think it would perform to an acceptable level. I think on the inside I'm just playing it really slow till I can grab some relevant hardware that's not like a 2070. Admittedly, I haven't been, watching sales that hard though, so. Stick with either or. I was giving it that topic was a conversation I was having a few days ago. I don't think I want to go into the 400 range if, like, there's a slim possibility that an XT would be available, which I'm optimistic. I still think there's a chance. for sure I'm maybe focusing a little too hard on the an XD version. Only XT, really? I right now my brain feels like be happy with either or, but I can see the argument for, you know, just the XT version. I'm forgetting the numbers. I know I watched a lot of compare and contrast, but maybe I'm just blowing like the power consumption or the extra power needed for the XT. Maybe I'm just thinking too much about that again. That is true. That's true. $50 between both versions. In a perfect world, $50, yeah. %, 20. I hope not between all of the games. I hope that's just in a few of them, but that's shocking if it's more. If it's just like 20 across the board, that does hurt a lot. $13. I think immediately, if I get one, around the MSRP price point, I would probably immediately go into Monster Hunter and then, you know, finish that game immediately, and then I'd probably be in the situation of, oh, what should I do now? Well, sorry, I'm derailing a little bit for what I was planning to do. I don't think it's gonna work. To the keyboard, I mean. Yeah, I wanted to put like these little like foam tabs on like the four corners of the board, but with the little grooves on well, on the PCB itself and the base, I don't think I can fit anything in there. Oh yeah, the keycaps. I forgot to show the keycaps. Well, I guess it is like it's kind of a like a personal preference change, but I think, you know, I'd like to think it's an improvement over, you know, the regular. Like I'll just pick out some from the originals. So these are just right, like the black on white, or sorry, black on white legends on a black keycap, and then it's gonna look pretty different. Sorry, just still in the box. Okay, never mind. I dropped some. Eesh, so much glare. There we go. Never mind. You kind of can't really. You can't really see the difference. Hold on. They put the super colorful ones in like a different packaging. I don't know if it's gonna, like, if you can see them on camera though. Nothing too crazy. I don't know if you can see the, that almost went down. The black or the dark blue. I don't know if it can really see it. Like the red pinkish on the gray, I think is nice. It's nothing too, you know, it's not flashy, but simple. I don't know, it's not like sleeper status. I think like the black, the white on black is probably like the most sleeper, but I could have gone like super, like, what do you call it? Like gradient. Like, a color like this into like an orange or a red was an option, but I think that was maybe too much for like a board like this. But you know, maybe in the future. Okay, I'll set those after I put it together. Have to test. I don't know if it's even gonna be able to go back together exactly like it was. Whoop. Sorry, I was about to say, the last time I like overfilled on a oh, I think it's too high to. Oh no, it's going. It's just sorry. I thought the plate was too high to make contact with the damn, yeah, too much. Alright, I'll just play with the tape mod instead. Or I'll just keep the foam around the battery and that's it. Oh, I think it would help if I used, you know, a proper size tool. Sorry, it's getting later than I thought. I thought to time this with like the New York time zone. Well, yeah, super overtime. I think I'll just reassemble. It's already like almost 11 on the eastern side. So I'll see what I can get done in like 30 minutes or so. Sorry, trying to clean up and make it look not like a mess. Oh, ran out of music. Okay. Well, it's almost over. It's like 25, 30, 25, 35 more minutes. Around there. Okay, there was flex, now there's no flex. So hmm. I can't tell right away if there's full, like if the screws have full purchase on the bottom. I thought the O-rings might like cause additional problems, but I think the board sound and the just the sound in general was pretty bad, pretty negative. So if like full foam around the cavities, and I did keep the plate foam, so hope I get some improvements. I know the keycaps aren't staying, but the keys, the switches are. So. With how good the switch was, I'm pretty open to the idea of getting the, I think it's called glare. I'm probably remembering wrong. But the more expensive models come with glare instead of like this version. Looks similar, but oh. Oh. Okay, well, okay. Backtrack a little bit. I left out a part, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't think anybody knows the part, so I'll get away with it. Well, at least I know it fits, kind of. Well, from the outside it looks like it fits. I don't know if that was audible, but that spring did not like the tension there. Oh, it's no problem. I just made a lot of mistakes, so no worries. Oop, sorry. Hit the camera. Dark Souls right now. Why are you multitasking? Is live. Okay. Just pretend I didn't assemble everything and then forget to put the mode switch button on the back. Okay, for real this time. Just... Never mind. Never mind, just kidding. Okay. Sorry, I was super worried that the toggle switch on the back wasn't gonna work anymore. Or maybe something was off and I don't know. it wasn't gonna function properly or something like that. The plate foam isn't fully flush on the bottom, but I think it's gonna be okay. Skip the weird USB-C still. Oh, never mind. Still works. Like with the low profile board, I really thought that it was going to be too much of a, not a pressure difference, but too much of like a material, like impact difference, that something was going to bow or something was going to put too much pressure, or it wouldn't like fully close. I keep telling myself that I should start at a more, you know, earlier time. And it starts out that way, and then I accidentally update something and OBS breaks, or, you know, delivery is late. Fire link. In Dark Souls, admittedly, I'm not very well versed in those, that game series. Never beaten any. I don't know. I could tell from like miles away that I'm not going to be good at like a Souls game or anything familiar to it. I just know, like, really Sorry, just got distracted. I don't think it comes through on the microphone without a... No, it doesn't really. But yeah. Oh yeah, Night Rain. Isn't Night Rain public beta testing out right now? Well, what happened? So I was watching some on YouTube, the Magic podcast. Well, I talked about them a long time ago, but yeah, their whole team was doing like a 4-player, like a day cycle raid. I think they had like a 3-day in-game time limit. It looked interesting. It looks really good. I mean, I already know that I'm going to be bad at it, but it looks really good. I don't know the exact like terminology of the mechanics, but there's like there's like a hunted mode where like a single boss would not stop spawning or attacking until like the selected target is dead. And then like even after you die, you get debuffed for the rest of that like 3-day cycle. It looks punishingly hard, but I think it's gonna have a really good audience. Yeah, well, I mean, that's just through my, my very narrow vision. It looks really hard. I mean, the victories, like the item drops and things like that, the bonuses that you get if you survive, really good. But if something bad happens, if like a teammate is downed, it's a lot of time or not resources, but it looks stressful. Every time like something is down, there's like a little like link circle gauge that is like grayed out in purple. So like the more like down states that a character gets, the more like time it takes for somebody else to be able to interact with that person or res them. I think what also threw me off is like it was a group of 3. Yeah, your gauge increases. Like it's a circle, right? But it's separated into 3 parts. And the first time you get downed, the down gauge, it fills up. Only one of the 3 parts is filled. So it's just like, okay, an ally has to be like close enough to make melee contact with that person. And then depending on the amount of time that passes or the amount of like times it sounds kind of funny, like whenever your teammate like is in range and can hit you with like a melee, short range melee type thing, that will decrease your gauge, and then eventually, like if you're get hit enough by your opponent, not your opponent, by your ally, you res, but every time you die, the gauge keeps going. The circle keeps increasing, so like, not only is it like 3 people versus a boss or 2, it can be 3 versus 9 different targets or 8 different targets. So an ally, one of the remaining 2, has to like physically disengage with what they're doing while they're being targeted, and then like attempt to like make melee contact with the downed ally. Otherwise it's just, you know, hard to climb back if you're missing, you know, 1 ally, let alone more. But again, my knowledge of, you know, certainly Elden Ring is super low, so I'm sure there's like optimized, you know, routes that somebody can do with that, or like a high, whoops, or like a very high attack speed weapon, but there's so much going on. But what? I think that sounds stressful. I mean, one-on-one. So I don't think I've ever been super into a Souls game. I think Night Rain is the first version of a Dark Souls game to where I gave it second thoughts. Like, I kept wanting to know a little bit more than what the original presentation of it was. And I mean, I'm already watching like the open server beta tests on YouTube, so I'm already more interested than normal. And then after, like, I watched Night Rain, I guess was more, had more questions after the fact. Like, how would this work in this situation? Is that possible? Does this even work in this way? So, I don't know. The new DLC, the new expansion, I don't know how they're gonna word it. Very interesting. Well, I don't think it'd be that interesting if it was like either me and like a solo or a multi-group environment. I'm really not versed in that game. I think there's a huge leap between like me currently like understanding a mechanic being demonstrated and then attempting to do that in a high stakes environment. I don't think that would probably not go well. I don't think it would be that entertaining. How's the time? Holy Jesus. Okay, it's a lot. Like 8 minutes. Elden Ring. I'm thinking about it, but I think I'm just like lying to myself a little bit. I think it would be an experience. Probably, I don't, well, I'm being overly negative. I don't think there'd be a lot of like watchability into it. I've watched some of the game, but you know, like to be able to play the game at a high level for a long period of time, I don't think I'd be able to. Well, in a positive light, I think I can run Elden Ring pretty okay-ish. Well, I'd have to double check on that, but I'm pretty fairly certain I could run that pretty well. It not being online, I think, would save my very weak internet. Oh. Oh, okay. On Steam Deck. I keep forgetting about that. I don't know why. I keep forgetting the Steam Deck exists. I know for a while I wanted one. I don't know what happened. I think my main idea was like I'll buy all of the indie titles and then that'll be the like the indie station for everything. And then a majority of the indie games that I wanted for the portable Steam Deck just kind of slowly went to cell phone. It's a pretty good idea, actually. I'm giving it more and more thought. But I guess what's cheating a little bit, because I've watched or read so much about it, I kind of know what goes together and what kind of doesn't really work together. So I guess I have that for me. But for like a fun run, like a not using references or like charts or anything like that, I don't know what I would pick. My knowledge is so limited. Trying to remember. Like I know there's Ice Samurai. And then there's Claymore Lion's Roar. And then there's some that I'm forgetting, like a Blue Spiral Mage. I'm forgetting what else. I know there was another one that I was like being informed about. The one that I was watching. And then I know there's like very off the cuff, like funny character builds and things like that. Like I was watching there was a Berserk character. There was like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know how they did that, but I see those two a lot. I don't know what else. Tifa. Punching. I don't know many like hand-to-hand combat ones. No, I don't think I've seen that. I know there's like a claw weapon, like a Wolverine type thing. I'm remembering like a blue swift blade sword. I saw some of that. I've seen like 2 giant hammer builds. I think that's it. I think that's all I've really seen. I'm worried I moved everything close to the end of the table. But now I'm worried I'm gonna knock something over. Oh yeah, the seat cushion. Bought like a replacement. Like it should be here by now. It was supposed to be here before I started. But yeah, like a full I don't know if you can hear any of this with the current sound dampening right now. It still pings a lot on that metal. Sorry, not to derail, but I feel like after upgrading the old chair, I'd be, you know, a lot happier with it and just streaming more in general. But I'll try to wrap up. I'll just do the face keys, and then I'll call it there. I have to probably do like part 2 tomorrow. I don't know why of all things I got into analytics. Just I think I'm able to, but the hours would be very inconvenient for this side of the world. Like I would pick like hours from now, 11, 11:30, 12. It's not very, that's not fair, I think, to the whole time zone from like UTC -8 till 7 and 6. I could stream a lot more often, but VODs are good. I think like a VOD channel and things like that are great, but because of the like current situation, like popularity wise, I think I should be more available during regular working or like non-working hours right after regular hours. I don't know what got into me. It was like an analytics video and like a viewer retention video and numbers, and YouTube just keeps throwing all of these, factual analytics at me. I'm just like, oh, this makes a lot of sense to do it that way. I can't really argue with that data. Whether it's like, AI driven analytics or recommendations, it's giving me like, this is when A, B, and C should happen. The most important time for a video in your time zone would be A, B, and C. I'm just like, oh, I've never even considered that. It brings up good points though, like the times I would stream and I would upload, very, according to the analytics, very terrible times that I've picked in the past. So I know like Google Analytics, well, now that there's some data for it to go off of, a few weeks for it to go off of. It's like it's pushing the time to start earlier in the day, and it's looking through my time zone and all the way to like the other side of the country. It keeps bouncing back and forth from like the LA to New York and then back again, then considering both sides, things like that. At first I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I shouldn't be worried about that kind of thing, but it's getting to me. So now I want to be like earlier hours and pick a proper time to upload things and when I should edit things, and Oh, even the thumbnails. Yeah, it's even analytics for thumbnails and things like that. I need to work on that. So I don't disagree with it. Is the bad part. It's all it's hard to argue with. It's telling me the truth though. But I will say I'm not really connecting with like the recommendations, like what do you call it, like video ideas page and things like that. But if like there's an analytic behind the statements that I can visualize and see, like I'll you know, A, B, and C that you're doing, it's not working. So I guess I kind of needed that. It's helping out a lot. Okay, problem I just found. I don't think I have the right spacebar. It's gonna have to be like spacebar-less. Okay, that one goes, but it's not very does not go on easy, but I think it'll work. Never mind. I think I'm second guessing what goes where. Now I want blacked out directional buttons. Well, for tomorrow. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I will. It's tough to say I didn't make it exactly to the starting point that I wanted, just the face keys, but I'll finish the project off tomorrow. The early time that was recommended to me through analytics was around 2 p.m. my time. I don't know the exact conversion to the New York time that it's based on, but 2 p.m. my time, what I'll attempt to do, but I'll call it there. Unfortunately, I feel like I didn't even do a whole lot, or I really wanted to finish just the entire new keycaps with O-rings, but another day. 2 p.m. Yeah, that was the I forget if that's the recommended time for me to start. Then slightly later was when the analytics recommended that it was 1 p.m. for like video uploads. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look at the numbers again. But yeah, around 2 p.m. for a stream start time. So you are right. I didn't pick that time myself, but maybe it's onto something. The Google, YouTube, AI robots. Maybe, who knows? I have a little bit of faith in it. Yeah, instead of like 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. my time, it pushed the time forward to like 2 p.m. instead. Which is doable. It's not impossible. So I'll try to keep that for next time when I hopefully finish this this project and then move on to another one, or probably the same line of boards but a different version of it. But anyway, I'll call it there. I'll take a break, and I would usually say like start later, but I'll just hold it off until tomorrow and start at a reasonable time. Yep. See you later.